happy Saturday afternoon. Happy Memorial Day weekend. So what we're going to do is the TLAD series that I've been working on this course for a while, and I'm really excited about it. But this is a Think Like a Drummer series. So we start with everything very basic, like what I was just showing you is very basic, but you have to start somewhere. And I'm going to talk to you what I think about regarding Think Like a Drummer, and then I'll show you some simple exercises you can do, and then we'll go into some more difficult things. The first thing is you want to get going 4 on the floor. So Think Like a Drummer series. Make sure you like this video if you're enjoying this, and I would love to see you in the chat if you want to do that. But D minor 9 right here, you just have an F major 7, that's the third note, the flat third, the fifth, the flat 7, and the ninth. But one of the first things you can do is just play 4 on the floor. So just 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can even go like a D minor. So you're kind of working on your rhythm. What we're going to do first is 2, 5. And all you're going to do from 2 to 5 is just get your middle finger down to your B, and now you have a G13. So just like in jazz, our D minor 9 wants to go to a G13. The 9 chord wants to go to 13 by just doing this 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you can even go to the 1, and to go to the C major, just go 3, 5, 7, 9 of the major scale. Very nice, simple, kind of like it's a jazz voicing for sure, but it also can be used in the pop world as well. But this idea, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now I'm just doing 2, 5, and I'm going to throw in the 6 now. Again, this is an easy, accessible kind of loop, and you're going to go the flat 7 of A, the flat 9, the third, and then the sharp 5 or the flat 13, however you want to think about it. But just get this idea going here. Normally I would turn on a loop or a backing track, but because of the lag between my software and any click I would use, I want to make sure we're dead on. And if I turn on a click, it'll be delayed a little bit. So I'm just going to do it without the click. But you're just getting used to this 4 on the floor again. And I'll show you some preparatory exercises. I'm doing like a 1 and 2, 3, 4, da da. So 1 and 2. 1 and 2, 3, 4. And then the next thing we're going to do is 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3. Let's do that again. 1 and 2, 3, and 4, and 1. And I just did the F going up to the G. So for the 2 chord, and 4, and 1, 2. That's a great exercise to practice as well. 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. Now, you see what I did different there? Instead of going 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, I did 1 and 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, notice that when I go up, I can go full octave, F, 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 F sharp, G. Sometimes I'll do just my 4th finger. I like that sound as well, so I can go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4. Then I'm going to go to the 1 chord, 1, 2, and 3. And then how about we approach the A, the 6th chord, a whole step below and go up chromatically as well. That's kind of nice as well. So again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then C. Again, this is like 101 beginner kind of thing, but at the same time, it takes a little while for us to get the rhythm thing going. And one of the things I like to do is get that 4 on the floor in the right hand. Just these same notes over and over, and you just keep the beat going. So our left hand can really focus on the rhythm. So at first time, I just want to hit it one time. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. I could go 1, 2, 3, and that's 1 and, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2. Okay, let's do that a couple times. So that's just 2, 5. What's up, Vance? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Yeah, we've done a lot of lives lately, Vance. Hope you're doing well. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and. So let's go back again. At first, we just want to hit it one time. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2. Again, one time. And all we're doing is 2, 5. That time I did 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. And now let's do 2, 5, 1 to C. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is let's add, we did the 2, 5 and the 1 and the 6. And we can even approach any of these from a whole step below. Like we could practice going 2, 5. It's a great exercise. What's up, user? Good to see you. Hello. When are you doing the request any song you want and play them for you? Honestly, the only time I usually do that is when I'm goofing off on something like you've seen me do where I play flute or saxophone or something like that, because they demonetize everything whenever I do that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So we go 1 and 2 and 3. Notice how also, here's another tip, sometimes I get the hands working together while I go. Right, we can do that kind of sound, right, left, I can go. So I go. Sometimes I start with the left hand, sometimes the right hand. That's kind of interesting there. So if you start on the right, 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then 4 and. Okay, so that's sort of the intro to what we're going to do, is getting that down. If you're enjoying this, I'm going to refresh to see if anybody is engaging in this. By engaging, I mean just it helps when you like the video as well, because that kind of lets everybody know that we're doing this. All right, I'm definitely seeing that you guys are enjoying this. That's really good. Hey, Victor, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Okay, the next thing is this. Let's vary up some. I have a long version of this we're going to do, and actually, a lot of you know that I've done a series on Instagram that's been very popular. I want to say we had close to 1 million views on one of those, and the idea is this: people like this idea of the think like a drummer, and one of the first things I love to do is get this 4 on the floor thing going, okay? Because this will help your rhythm. So you can go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, and just get that one thing going. And then notice when I go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then notice that I started getting the hands working together. Even that 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So then you have this idea of you have the 2, 5, and 1 and 6 is what we're doing right now. But even the pedal, listen how nice that is over the G pedal, and I'm still doing the D minor 9, but over G pedal we go. That's kind of a nice busy kind of. It's a little bit busy. I wouldn't do that for a long time, but you could go 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then 4 and then 1 and then 2 and then, or you could go. All right, it says, could you play this music like an action movie style? I guess that depends on what kind of action style or thing that you're doing. Okay, so a couple more things. We're about to get into a longer version of this kind of loop, and I've written a lot of these out. In fact, on my beginning thing of getting the hands to get together, I just do simple things like blues kinds of sounds, and even this, a sus sound. Like, I love for you guys to make sure you're doing this. As you're getting this going, you can experiment to the sound of the sus up and down. So the answer is no. I don't play this kind of music like an action movie, because unless I'm thinking of a particular movie. Yeah, so you probably know, user, by now that whenever I'm teaching a specific topic, I want to make sure that I focus on that topic. And so that's not my idea, is to do a movie scoring right now. I have enough trouble with copyrights and things like that when I start playing standards. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is let's extend the loop. If you guys are enjoying this, then let me know. I would love for somebody else. Victor, good to see you. I meant to say hello to you in the chat, but glad that you're here. All right, so let's do this. If we did 2, 5, let's do 3, 6. Let's do that for a minute. So we go 2, 5, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I've gotta remember that I'm not walking down, I'm walking up. 2 and 3 and 4. Now after we go to the 5, we're gonna walk it down to the 3 and then up to that. So let's do back and forth between walking it up and down. Again. We go 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 again. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is we just did 2, 5, 3, 6, and then we can go. Let's just go to the 4. Okay, so 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4. Now listen to that. What I did right there. That's like an F major 9. So the whole loop will be 2, 5, 3, 6, 4, flat 7, minor, and then we're going to go sus. C-sharp diminished will lead us nicely into the beginning of it again. Ba, ba, ba. What's up, Jeffrey? Good to see you. And Victor, thank you so much for that. Yeah, I love to write out all these loops and things, and I've been writing out a bunch of funky things lately for you guys, like all this. Like of these bluesy kind of licks, but you change it to. Anyway, I've been writing out some 16th note kind of stuff lately, which is really fun to do and difficult at times to notate, but I think I'm getting it down. All right, the next thing is let's extend, or let's work on extending this loop. So when you have this right here, G sus. I like that. And that time I went C sharp diminished. And then it starts over. And then we're here, we're going to go to F major. And then walk it down to D13 maybe, and then we're here. Here we go. I think that's the whole thing. You said, can you try higher octave and a lower two while playing the song? You like that? So when you play C4, yeah, you could. It's just not going to sound the same when you're this high. Yeah, here's the meat. Here's the butter area. And it's for solo piano, so it's going to... Like, if you were doing that, you'd be up here and doing all these jazz kind of things if you had a bass player, but we're solo piano. Actually, I like it. Yeah, I think that's it. What do y'all think? Does that work? I've done a lot of those kinds of things. I also do some that really emphasize the 16th note kind of feel, like let me think of some of the ones I've done. I don't want to get too off in the weeds. let me go back. We have a lot of people watching here. I want to let's start with the very first thing that I did. Is I want you guys go on quarter notes, right? And you're just gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. So sometimes I'm on just one beat. 2. Sometimes on like a 1 and we go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And then I'll go to the 2 to 5. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Let's do that again. And 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2. You could also try playing the song without looking to the notes if possible. I don't know what you mean. I'm not using any notes. And 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. You know how I say that repetition is your friend? With stuff like this, I really mean that. Like you can get some really cool sounds just by like getting used to whatever kind of feel you're searching for. But sometimes I just go 1, 2 and 3 and as I mentioned earlier, if I'm just repeating this over and over and I go 1, 2 and 3. Let's do it again. Now I'm going to do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and half steps. All right, what questions do you have regarding that? Anyone have any thoughts on that? I really like that style, and it seems to have resonated with a lot of people when we do those kinds of things. I think I'm gonna write this one out. Yeah, the C sharp diminished, right. Got to put that C sharp as a nice leading into that, because Vance, if I just did this and I went over that, that's the sound I would get, which is horrible, but that makes it worth it right there. All right, you can do beats like Sound Remake too. So let me think of one other thing related to that. Now, do you guys understand what I'm doing there? That's just slightly different. Yeah, I don't think that beatboxing would be the best way I should go at this point, user. All right, but watch this. Just so we're clear, when we're doing this, I'm thinking eighth notes. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3. But here, if I go... one E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E. And I wouldn't play it that fast. I'm going to play it like this. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 2 E and a 3 E. Yeah, so as I'm writing out all these different things, I like for you guys to know that like 16th notes it's really important to be able to count 16th notes, and it takes a little bit of time to do it. I think it's a great exercise. So even if I was breaking this down, and I do 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a... That's the whole thing. Yeah, it's definitely trickier. Yeah, so notice that we went down from like 10 people watching to like 3 people watching when I started doing this. Or here's another one. That's how you clear out your stream. All right, let's end where we began. This is supposed to be a simple way and an introduction to Think Like a Drummer. And that is this: F major 7 over D minor, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm thinking eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And I go. Let me slow it down. All right, one thing you guys could help me with before we sign off is I have 3 courses that I'm working on, and actually 4, but the ones that I'm almost done with. And I'm curious to know if you were to rank them, okay? The first one would be this idea of, and this is literally 90% done, this one, of where we're doing all the chords, the jazz chords, the simply beautiful jazz chords that creates the whole loop there, and it shows you how you don't have to repeat notes and how you get those really beautiful descending things. So that's one course, almost all the way done. And then the one that this bebop idea of things that I wish I'd known about bebop and all the different ways you can add the half steps and things to keep you on the downbeat. So that's a fun one as well. Like I've already written out a ton of stuff on that one, and I think that's going to be a lot of fun. And then the Think Like a Drummer series. How would you rate those on priority? I need to know what you guys think. Think Like a Drum. So 1 is the simply beautiful jazz chords that has the loop. Or 2 is the bebop series, right? Things that I wish I had learned earlier about bebop, and then the Think Like a Drummer series is number 3. So somebody rank those in the order of you think the priority is of getting these out there. I'd be curious to know. Put them in priority, Vance, for me. Yeah, you do use those in your work, don't you? Like in your musical that you're doing? That's pretty cool. So you think that should be first. The problem with that is I'm done with the other chorus except for I have to put the finishing touches on the final version of the video. So, but yes. People seem to love the idea of thinking like a drummer. Oh, yeah, the chords are cool. Also, even with thinking like a drummer, just to be clear, everyone, is even when we do these things like a simple G13 blues and we go all that's kind of like thinking like a drummer because we get the hands working together. And this is a 101 kind of blues thing. I've written tons of these out that go like this. You don't need the sheet music for this. 1, flat 7, 3, 13, 9. You just go. Just get that groove. Even that, you hear what I did? I was going, I'm doing like 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 1. So sometimes I'm a little bit ahead. I'm going. Yeah, isn't that fun to do that? And you can do that with any kind of chord progression, any style. You just do 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So you're thinking like a drummer. Ba, ba, ba. keeping that pulse going. Ba-da. So just like I was doing, notice what I did, Victor and Vance. I flipped the script on the other. I wasn't thinking anymore right hand. I was thinking opposite, so flip it around. So then I went, left hand takes that pulse. Yeah, nice. That's kind of fun to do that. And then the last part of that is I like to do, that time I'm doing left, right, or there's something else that I did recently that I started doing more loops in the chord part of things, and like what did I do? I called it something, and it was like different ways to play. Oh, I know what it was. It was what makes me me. That's what it was, Vance. Do you remember that? And so I came up with like 20 things with intros, outros, horn line stuff. Like when people like whatever it is I do, just like I like what other people do and I steal from other people and then I make it my own. That's what I want for you guys as well. And so I had that idea of, man, I got to get these things out here. Like what makes me me? Like what do I do that works best for me, and that you guys would steal all that and make it your own. Yeah, those were I really like those. And part of it is that I remember what I need to practice for myself so I can communicate those to other people as well. But yeah, to me, that's a priority. With all those fourth voicings we talked about, remember, like, when you do those fourth voicings, everyone, I've been doing the F blues lately and showing you guys these chord voicings. You do fourths. It's like money in the bank. Even when I play an F blues and I go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I go to B flat, I don't even have to change my right hand. Might want to change it there. And I just move it up and down. And so these really neat chord voicings and these open voicings, I think that makes me me is when I use those. And also, all these kinds of voicings. Yeah, Vance, you'll be pleased to know that when I went through and I came up with 20 things that I think that I love to do the most, and a lot of them are reharmonizing chords in different ways, and then even doing the sus sound. You know, when we go ba-da-da-da-da, putting that C over the D minor and how nice those are, and even this idea of your flat nines. And even this made it into the list, the flat 9. Anyway, I'm excited about that. I'm like 90% done with about 4 courses. All right, guys, have you enjoyed learning about all these Think Like a Drummer ideas? I know I kind of at the end went off into a few other things, but I'm really excited about all the momentum that we have in the channel. We finally got up to 10 members in the YouTube channel. Vance is a member of that. There's been a wonderful 2 weeks. I haven't seen all the live. Awesome. Jazz and Bossa Nova, yeah. Yep, Jazz and Bossa Nova. As a matter of fact, with the Bossa Nova, we're gonna start getting into some Bossa Nova things as well. That's not I did make backing tracks for the bossa nova stuff already, which is kind of cool that we've done that. And they're not just backing tracks; they're drummer, bass, and you, so you can get that feel that you're looking for, like you're in the jazz trio. But anyway, uh, yes, it's been a really, really good couple of weeks at iMusicAcademy. But what I was going to say is we have a truck driver who is a member of the YouTube channel now. His name is Carlos, and he drives around and he listens to the stream. He even sent me a nice donation there. Shout out to Carlos. So he got us over to 10 people who have joined the channel. And as you guys know, I'm trying to load that up with some really cool PDFs and that kind of thing. So awesome, guys. Let's see. Let's look at one more. This is from the Think Like a Drummer series. Let me look at this one. We're done in a couple minutes, but listen to this. We're gonna go. Let me see. I have to remember what I did here. I have to actually read my own. Oh. I'm wondering why the E flat. Oh, the E flat should be an octave lower. Okay, we're getting somewhere. That's not right. I think that this should be on beat 4, but I'm just trying to decide if that's written right. I think it's this. It's not written right. Okay, now I know why I did that. Here's the reason why. It's odd happening on 3. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's right. So, but the question is on beat 4. I had this 1, 2, 3, and 4. Cool. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. Yeah, I'm good. So 1, 2, 3. So here's the idea, and I know why I did this now. So it is written wrong, and the F should be, or the beat should be on the downbeat of the next measure. 1, 2, 3. The idea is the index finger. That's the point of this loop. 1, 2, 3. So we have the 1, 2, 3. That's it. Yeah, I think that's why. Simple grooves with jazz chords. All right, guys, I'm out. Hey, thanks for hanging out. Good to see you, Vance. Good to see you, Victor. Good to see you, User. And good to see you, Jeffrey, as always. All right, guys, have a good one. Hope you enjoyed this. I'll see you in the next video. And do me a favor, leave a comment. Let me know what you like, what you don't like, and I'll try to make it happen.